Give, therefore, to the emperor the things that are the emperor's, and to God the things that are God's. There are some phrases in the Bible that people seem to know, and this comes up as one of them. It would make a good family fortunes question with Gino de Campo. Give a well-known phrase of Jesus from the Bible. I wonder what our top phrases would be. We have met the Pharisees many times before in Jesus' stories and parables, but especially so in the run-up to today's reading. Jesus directs many accusations of hypocrisy in their direction without actually naming them, but they know who he is getting at. But the Herodians, this is the first time they have appeared. They were part of the Herodian family whose political allegiance was indirectly linked to Rome and therefore to Caesar. So this unlikely collaboration has come together with one intent: to remove Jesus so they can continue living the way they always have. Jesus is causing them all trouble. But things are no different in our time. Those who speak out against governments, oppression, injustice, dictatorship are often silenced, jailed, mocked, persecuted, and much worse. There are plenty of examples in the news just now. So this question, is it lawful to pay taxes to the emperor or not, is a test to put Jesus in a similar situation. To say no would go against the Roman authority, but to say yes without qualification might seem too compliant with the Roman authority. It really feels as if this is a lose-lose situation for Jesus. Now, as we know, the Jews lived by a strict religious code, and the denarius was a Roman coin used only to pay taxes to Caesar. It was a coin that the strict Jews found objectionable because it depicted the head of Caesar and bore the words, Son of God. The Decalogue, of course, forbade the making of images, and together with this inscription, this coin, the denarius, contravened the Jewish laws. However, it had to be used to pay the Roman tax. The Jews had their own special copper coins without these features for everyday living, so they did not have to carry this Roman coin with them every day. Now, the fact that the group have a coin readily available to give to Jesus when he asks for one is therefore quite telling. They are already using Caesar's money, and as Jesus tells them, they should therefore give it back to Caesar as it belongs to them, settling the debt, so to speak. But Jesus moves on to say, give to God the things that are God's, which put things into a wider perspective. Pay and settle your debt to Caesar, but all else belongs to God. Your unrestricted due, your full self in service to God. It is not a division of secular and sacred, but a recognition that the secular finds its proper place within the sacred. Once again, Jesus turns an entrapment situation on its head. Instead of ending up causing controversy among the community or Roman establishment, Jesus manages to amaze this group, thus rendering their trap useless. But where does that leave us in our world context today? When we are working in any area of life, we need to consider how we act and interact with governing authorities and yet maintain our faith identity in the face of adversity. What someone may be asked to do can go against their conscience of faith. How do they then respond? For some, this may be easy. Government policies and their conscience may line up pretty closely. Others may find this more and more difficult as policies continues to be at odds with their faith conscience. With the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett as Trump's Supreme Court nominee, there is already much debate about where her loyalties will lie, her judicial or faith head, and which will win if cases go to the Supreme Court. And there are many people who would be eager to have their heads engraved on coins or printed on banknotes. Empire-hungry people who talk as if they have God at the heart of who they are and what they do. Yet, we see corruption, injustice, and greed ruling over every area of their life. You cannot claim that God has all authority and then act as if it is actually you who have it or should have it. That is hypocrisy at its best or at its worst. And too many times we in ministry also get it wrong. We do not stand up or speak out and take action against those very people who propose to have God at the centre, but it is their own greed and ambition that is their ultimate authority. We need to stand beside or even in front of the oppressed, the poor, the humiliated, rather than being concerned about what people might think of us or who we might upset in case they stop supporting the institution. At the forefront of anything and everything we do must be God. Give therefore to the emperor the things that are the emperor's, and to God the things that are God's. Amen. During our time of prayer, there will be a period of silence for your own prayers to God. Let us pray. Creator God, when the checks and balances are being done, it is often the most vulnerable who appear to come out at the bottom. The ones who do not have the power or voice or money to stand up and speak out. We as the Church have a moral and faith duty to do just that on their behalf, to be their voice when they cannot be heard. And as schools prepare to go back after their short holiday, may we find space for those who are anxious, fearful for what is happening but have no choice. May remember all the school staff and pupils as they go into another busy term. A term still full of uncertainty and constant changes. Loving God, may we be your open arms and listening ears for them at this difficult time. As those in governments continually make decisions that will affect our everyday, may we hope they are made with integrity, openness, and fairness. As people worry about jobs and money and how they will get by, may we as a Church of Christ continue to respond with love and generosity. And for the anxious, the lonely, the hungry, the ill, the poor, we remember them and hold them, offering where we can our time to help heal. For the brave, we offer our prayers and hold them in our hearts, supporting when we can, and ready for when needed. And now, as we move into silence with the prayers of those we know and love, let us also remember those in the wider community have no one offering a prayer for them. Hear us now in the silence. Loving God, help transform our thoughts and prayers into action, so we can be the living prayer that others need. Amen.